On the morning of November 11th, 2024, Birmingham Airport hummed with the familiar chaos of arrivals, passengers weaving through the terminal, collecting luggage, and heading to their next destinations. But beneath this everyday hustle, three explosive stories of crime were about to collide, revealing the sinister undercurrents of drug trafficking coursing through one of Britain's busiest airports. Today we're diving deep into the tales of a mother who turned her family into a criminal dynasty, a dealer whose single mistake unraveled his empire, and a smuggler whose cool facade masked a fortune in narcotics. Join us as we unpack these cases, explore the intricate details of their schemes, and reveal how justice caught up with them. Let's dive in. Farzana Kausar, a 54-year-old mother and grandmother from Bradford, was the picture of suburban normalcy to her neighbors. Known for her quiet demeanor and dedication to family, she blended seamlessly into her community, attending to household duties and raising her children. But behind this carefully curated facade, Kausar was orchestrating a multi-million-pound drug trafficking operation, smuggling vast quantities of high-purity cocaine from Mexico to the United Kingdom. Investigators later described her as the linchpin of a highly sophisticated network, a mastermind who operated with chilling precision. Court evidence revealed her connections to international contacts, including a mysterious figure referred to as Uncle in Pakistan, who played a pivotal role in arranging shipments and securing suppliers. This shadowy partnership allowed Kausar to disguise her criminal activities as innocent family vacations, masking a sprawling enterprise that moved drugs across continents. What made Kausar's operation particularly shocking was her decision to entangle her own family in the conspiracy. Unlike traditional crime bosses who keep their loved ones at arm's length, Kausar recruited her children, some barely out of their teens, into her illicit empire. Her eldest son, June Shafik, 33, became her right-hand man, coordinating travel logistics and overseeing critical aspects of the operation. Muhammad Amir Shafik, 28, served as a courier, handling the high-stakes task of transporting luggage packed with drugs. Muhammad, just 22, was drawn into the scheme at an age when most young adults are starting careers or pursuing education. Even her youngest, Hamza Shafuk, only 17 during the smuggling runs, was not spared, his future irrevocably altered by his mother's demands. Safana, 19, acted as another courier, while daughter-in-law Sarah Hussein, 27, and close family friend Khaled Abdul Kawai, 36, were also pulled into the operation. Kausar's leadership was a chilling blend of familial authority and criminal ambition. She issued orders, organized movements, and ensured compliance, exploiting her family's loyalty to expand her reach. To the outside world, they were a close-knit family, taking trips abroad. In reality, they were a tightly controlled unit, executing a high-stakes trafficking scheme. This fusion of family ties and criminal enterprise made Kausar's operation both unique and devastating, as her loved ones paid a heavy price for their loyalty. The genius of Kausar's operation lay in its deceptive simplicity, designed to exploit the chaos of a busy airport terminal. The family booked short-haul flights to popular European destinations like Dublin or Amsterdam, traveling with minimal luggage, often just carry-on bags to appear as casual tourists on brief getaways. These trips were meticulously timed to coincide with long-haul flights arriving from Cancun, Mexico, carrying suitcases preloaded with kilos of high-purity cocaine. It was in the bustling baggage claim area, where passengers from multiple flights mingled. Kausar's couriers would casually approach the carousel designated for the Cancun flight. A corrupt insider in Mexico had checked in unaccompanied suitcases packed with drugs, ensuring they arrived undetected. The family's role was to retrieve these bags as if they were their own, wheeling them through the arrivals hall and out of the airport without drawing attention. The method was elegantly straightforward. No hidden compartments, no elaborate disguises, just flawless timing and composed execution. The success of this strategy hinged on the family's ability to blend in. Dressed casually and avoiding nervous gestures, they mimicked the behavior of ordinary travelers returning from short breaks. Customs officers, overwhelmed by the volume of passengers, were unlikely to notice anything amiss. Reports suggest this tactic wasn't unique to Kausar's group. International trafficking networks have used similar methods to exploit the vulnerabilities of airport baggage systems. Kausar's operation refined it, executing at least 5 smuggling runs between August and November 2024, moving vast quantities of cocaine with ruthless efficiency. The brilliance of the scheme lay in its low-tech approach. By relying on human behavior rather than complex concealment, the family shifted the risk to the moment of interception, banking on their ability to remain unnoticed. But as we'll see, even the most carefully laid plans can unravel under scrutiny. On the morning of November 11, 2024, the National Crime Agency, NCA, and Birmingham Airport security were ready. After weeks of surveillance, they had uncovered the family's pattern of timed arrivals and suspicious movements. As the long-haul flight from Cancun touched down, Kausar's couriers moved into position at the baggage claim, their actions captured on high-definition CCTV. 6 suitcases, each packed with tightly wrapped blocks of high-purity cocaine, were collected with practiced ease. The haul, 180 kilograms in total, had a wholesale value of £5 million and a potential street value of £14.4 million when broken down for distribution. The group wheeled the heavy suitcases through the terminal, blending seamlessly with the crowd of tired travelers. They reached the car park, where waiting vehicles were ready to whisk the drugs away. But as they began loading the bags, NCA officers closed in, executing a swift and coordinated takedown. Within moments, 6 suspects were arrested, and the suitcases were seized before they could leave the airport grounds. The operation was a masterclass in law enforcement precision. With investigators using real-time surveillance and intelligence to catch the group in the act, the seized drugs were a staggering find, stacked in neat rows in photographs later released by the Crown Prosecution Service. For the NCA, this wasn't just a single bust, it was the dismantling of an entire family-led trafficking pipeline that had operated under the radar for months. The arrests sent shockwaves through the criminal underworld, proving that even the most sophisticated schemes could be undone by relentless investigation. Let's rewind to another case that rocked Birmingham Airport years earlier. In February 2016, Majid Hussain, a passenger preparing to board a flight to Pakistan, passed through a routine security check at the departure gates. He appeared unremarkable, just another traveler with a carry-on bag. But inside that bag, security officers made a shocking discovery: a wrap of heroin. Placed with no attempt at concealment, no false compartments, no clever disguises, just a blatant oversight. This small but glaring mistake led to Hussain's immediate detention and sparked a chain of events that exposed a far larger operation. The presence of heroin in his carry-on raised red flags, suggesting he wasn't a casual user, but a player in a broader network. Within hours, investigators secured a warrant to search his home on Nonsan Road, Saltley. What they found was staggering: a suitcase hidden under his bed containing 1 kilo of heroin and 4 kilos of cocaine, with an estimated street value of £250,000. But the drugs were only the beginning. The raid uncovered a chilling arsenal: a semi-automatic handgun with 27 rounds of live ammunition, stun gun disguised as a mobile phone, and an air pistol. These weapons underscored Hussain's readiness to protect his empire through violence. Additionally, officers found £300,000 in bundled cash, a clear sign of a thriving drug enterprise. The discoveries painted a picture of a man at the center of Birmingham's drug trade, his home a fortress of narcotics, weapons, and illicit wealth. Investigators were baffled by the contrast between Hussain's careless airport, his take, and the sophisticated operation at his home. Had overconfidence led him to assume he could breeze through security, or was it a genuine lapse in judgment? Either way, that single wrap of heroin was the thread that unraveled his entire world, exposing him as a well-armed, well-financed dealer whose activities fueled addiction and violence in his community. In August 2016, Majid Hussain faced justice at Birmingham Crown Court. Prosecutors presented a mountain of evidence: the drugs, firearms, ammunition, and cash seized from his home, coupled with the heroin found at the airport. Hussain chose to plead guilty on the first day of his trial, admitting to charges including possession of a prohibited firearm, possession of a disguised firearm, possession of ammunition, possession of Class A drugs with intent to supply, and possession of criminal property. The evidence was overwhelming, leaving no room for defense. During sentencing, Judge Patrick Thomas QC delivered a scathing assessment, describing the combination of guns and drugs as a toxic and dangerous mix that posed a severe threat to the public. Hussain was sentenced to 12 years in prison, a punishment reflecting the scale of his criminality. But the case didn't end there. West Midlands police pursued a Proceeds of Crime Act hearing to strip Hussein of his illegal profits. In December 2017, the court ordered him to repay £295,000 within 3 months, or face an additional 3 years in prison. A further £33,000 in criminal proceeds remained outstanding, to be recovered as more assets were identified. Hussein's empire, built on drugs and violence, collapsed because of one careless moment at a security checkpoint. Fast forward to November 2021, when Birmingham Airport saw another dramatic bust. Mohammed Azhar Rashid, a 35-year-old from Oldham, Greater Manchester, arrived on a flight from Siaka, Pakistan, via Dubai. His calm, collected demeanor as he moved through the terminal raised no immediate suspicions. But Border Force officers acting on intelligence directed him to a secondary search area. Inside his checked luggage, they found 18 kilograms of heroin, packed in tightly wrapped packages, with a purity of 66 to 71% and a street value exceeding £900,000. CCTV footage later released by the NCA showed Rashid pushing his bags through the terminal with an air of confidence, as if nothing was amiss. When confronted with the drugs, he initially denied ownership of the luggage, then claimed the packages were planted without his knowledge. But his mobile phone told a different story. WhatsApp messages with a contact labeled "brother" in Pakistan revealed a coordinated effort. As Rashid approached security checks, nervous about detection, brother sent a chilling message: "Remain tension-free. God will be generous." These words meant to steady his nerves. This became damning evidence of his complicity in a professional trafficking network. The phone data allowed the NCA to map out a wider supply chain, with Rashid as a courier in a carefully orchestrated operation spanning international borders. His arrest exposed vulnerabilities in the network, providing leads for further investigations. In May 2022, Rashid pleaded guilty to importing Class A drugs at Birmingham Crown Court, receiving a 9-year sentence. His case served as a stark reminder that no matter how calm a smuggler appears, the truth will eventually surface. Returning to the Kausar case, the family faced justice in late 2024 at Birmingham Crown Court. The scale of their operation, 180 kilograms of cocaine worth millions, was matched by the severity of their sentences. Farzana Kausar, the ringleader, was sentenced to 13 years and 4 months for masterminding the trafficking pipeline. Her eldest son, June Shafok, received 10 years and 9 months for his pivotal role in logistics. Mohammed Amir Shafok was jailed for 8 years and 9 months, while Mohammed got 8 years and 1 month, only 19 during the crimes, was sentenced to 7 years and 2 months. Hamza Shafok, 17 at the time of the smuggling runs, had turned 18 by the trial, with his sentencing deferred to October 2025 due to his age. Sarah Hussein, the daughter-in-law, received a 2-year suspended sentence, reflecting her lesser role. Khalid Abdul Kawai, the family friend, was jailed for 10 years and 9 months. These sentences underscored the gravity of the family's crimes, which not only flooded the UK with drugs, but also shattered their own futures. The court's rulings sent a powerful message. No one, not even a family unit, is above the law. These 3 cases, Farzana Kausar's family-led empire, Majid Hussein's catastrophic mistake, and Mohammed Azhar Rashid's failed attempt at smuggling, paint a vivid picture of the dark world of drug trafficking through Birmingham Airport. Each story highlights the ingenuity, audacity, and ultimate downfall of those who thought they could outsmart the system. What do you think about the sentences handed down? Were they fair, or should they have been tougher? Should family ties influence sentencing, or should justice be blind to such bonds? Drop your thoughts in the comments below. We'd love to hear your perspective. If this deep dive into the criminal underworld kept you on the edge of your seat, give us a like, subscribe to the Crime Decoder, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next case. We'll keep bringing you the most compelling stories from the front lines of crime and justice. Thanks for watching, and we'll see you in the next one.